You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a show where three old guys are going to talk about some old games and additional content to old games.
Old games adjacent.
Old games adjacent.
Old games starring Adam Sandler.
Wait, how many games have been made based on Adam Sandler movies? I'm curious. Like, any? Was there a Little Nicky game? I think there was.
There was a Game Boy Color Little Nicky game.
So that's what we're going to cover next. Next time Miller's on.
I think the ad is like, this game is freaking sweet.
This game is freaking sweet.
God, that has to be... I think about it. Is that his worst movie? Is that his worst
I've
movie
never
ever?
seen it, so I don't know.
You haven't seen it?
Yeah.
Well, Jack and Jill, obviously, was the worst.
Little
didn't see
Nicky's
that one
not
either.
terrible, but I feel like it was... I feel like it was the first of like his downturn in quality.
It certainly was not good. Whether it was his worst, I guess that is debatable. But man, I mean,
Harvey Keitel was the devil. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, there was some good casting. Wasn't what's the Michael Clark Duncan? Didn't he play one of Little Nicky's brothers?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah.
50 First Dates, anyone? 50 First Dates?
I like 50 First Dates, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nikki and I watch that like all the time.
I don't remember. I mean, I remember the premise of it. I don't remember watching it. I just watched The Wedding Singer because it was on.
Yeah, The Wedding Singer was on like a bunch of times.
Last weekend.
It still is. They're still just running. It's just like...
I don't understand. All these people got really pissed off about The Office being moved off of Netflix and onto Peacock. And I'm like, just turn on Comedy Central every morning. Like, they will run through every episode of that fucking show in the span of 4 days if you just turn on Comedy Central. Thank you for the microphone adjustment.
You're
yeah,
welcome.
much better.
You're welcome.
I'm kind of going back and forth.
Yeah, that's why I want to put it right in the
Yeah.
center there, so that way if you go this way, you're good.
Yep.
Well, I'm your bearded host, Tyler, and I don't know. We just talked about some other shit. I didn't do much this week.
I forgot my bag at home, which was a whole ordeal because Miller and I were talking, and in the middle of it, I was like, fuck, where's my bag? And Miller was like, you had it with you when you brought it in. I was like, yeah, I know. I remember taking it off my shoulder. He's like, yeah, you took it off your shoulder. Fucking, you were out of the Holland deck, and I'm fucking tossing the place. Like, all right, I can't find my fucking bag.
He walked in circles around the studio for 10 minutes, just looking like picking up bags of chips. Is it under there?
Is it under the chips?
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, I know you had it because you had your box and that food and then your bag and you were wearing your jacket. Where's your jacket? Find your
Jacket's over there.
Find the bag. Save the cheerleaders. Save the world.
And I left it at home because I texted Nikki. I was like, hey, did I leave my bag there? And she's like, you did. Would you like for us to bring it to you? And I was like, no. That's a long way of saying that I don't have my notes.
Oh, we'll make it work.
Cool.
I'm kind of concerned with whatever, like, shared
Sean
mania
Mills will be
that
able to
we're
step out of the
having.
way.
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys. I haven't been here since Pixels, apparently.
Hashtag more Miller.
Pixels for Patreon and Final Fantasy 11 for a regular episode.
I can't believe you did an episode on Pixels.
We did an episode of Pixels.
and then you're claiming it was my idea. I'm going to have to check the records on that. I don't think I would have suggested. Of all the things that I could do a show about, Pixels is really not on the list.
I don't know who would have suggested it.
I don't know either.
It had to have been you, my dude. Because I don't see Tyler or I being like, I don't know that I knew Pixels was a movie.
There is so many games that I've talked about over the years.
I can see talking to you, be like, "No, you want to come on for an episode? You know, like a movie with any game tie-ins? We've been doing those. I saw like Pixels a few weeks ago.
It might have been that.
Okay,
I guess
Maybe it was that.
but we still haven't done.
I doubt it was like, dude, please, we have got to do an episode on this fucking
Yeah,
Adam Sandler.
I remember
joint.
you telling us you wouldn't be our friend anymore unless we did an episode on Pixels.
I'm texting Tyler like, okay, like you haven't had me on the show in a while, and I'm putting my fucking foot down right here. The hill that I'm going to die on is no longer Final Fantasy 2/4, 3/6. It is Pixels is the greatest movie of all time, and Tadpog Nation deserves, nay, demands that you cover this epic piece of cinema.
We need to start an online petition for Pixels too.
Have they not made it yet?
I don't know. Wreck-It Ralph. I think Wreck-It Ralph kind of ate Pixels
Pixels
too.
Yeah. Oh,
Or
shit.
Click. We'll do Click next. It'll be
I never saw
wonderful.
Click.
No, me neither.
I heard it's really sad.
Like intentionally sad, or it's just like unintentionally sad.
Intentionally sad.
Intentionally sad. I
yeah.
got you.
Not like, oh, bless his heart. He's how far the mighty have fallen, kind of.
Like, well, he.
No, fuck. Rob Schneider really ruined this movie.
I think he fast forwards it accidentally until he's an old man and his kids are grown and the remote breaks and he's just wasted his life.
Oh.
And that's just how it goes.
And then Rob Schneider shows up and says something asking, you can do it.
Hey, just like Captain America. Ah, shit. Fuck you, Rob Schneider.
It's not. I mean, it's not an Adam Sandler movie if Rob Schneider doesn't show up and just shit all over the movie.
Well, since you are our foremost final phonologist,
Final Fantasist?
final fanaticist.
Yeah, I guess. I don't. I think the collective knowledge that you do have far outweighs what I know anything about Final Fantasy. I may have one-upped you on Final Fantasy 11 knowledge at this point, and I've probably played 3 and 2 or 4 and 6 or whatever probably more times just out of pure boredom that you have. But other than that, no.
Because you do love 2/4, correct?
Yes. It is probably my second or third favorite of this. Maybe second. Because 11's definitely number one. Then it would be 3 and 2, 4 and 6 would be my, like, those are kind of 2A, 2B.
Yeah.
And then, after that, 7's okay. Well, a lot of people, the 7 is their favorite, and I just couldn't give a shit.
A lot of people got into the franchise on 7, I feel like. And I think that's why a lot of people love 7. Because it's like, I've even talked to people like now, and they're like, yeah, I loved 7 when it came out, but I don't know, replaying it was just kind of like, there are better Final Fantasy games out there.
Why am I snowboarding?
I mean, I love Final Fantasy 7. I'll fucking fight for that motorcycle minigame where you're fucking like hitting dudes with the sword. I'll fight for that all fucking day because I love that game. But
yeah, I couldn't. I have no nostalgia for it the way I do the 16-bit games.
Yeah.
Like, I can't go back and play it now. Like, even the remastered version, I've gone back and played, and I'm just like, I can't get through it because I can't get over this polygonal nightmare of just horse shit.
Horsebird shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because, playing the 3DS version.
Pretty good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Playing the 3DS version of this, like, they've taken sort of that 3D, aesthetic, but it still feels very much like the old style game. It doesn't have all the crazy ass far out wide angle, camera shots that was always really hard. I mean, that's one of the reasons that despite loving Silent Hill, I always hated Resident Evil because their camera angles were just a hodgepodge of shit that I could not wrap my head around. The controls were just hard to use.
Yeah.
And I found that a lot with 7 too. So, but I did find that this reminded me at least a little bit stylistically of that, but still holding to the sort of original feel of the turn-based, everything's basically the same, but that's a part of why this game kind of sucks too.
And by this, you do mean Final Fantasy IV, the after years, yeah? Because you played the 3D version.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Miller played the 3D version. Dave, you played the PSP.
Yeah, the PSP Final Fantasy IV Complete collection, which has like Final Fantasy IV, the interlude, and then Final Fantasy IV, the after years.
Because I never played the interlude. I played the original, came out month by month on the WiiWare store.
Yeah.
Back in like 2008.
I played the first one.
I paid $8 per chapter.
No shit.
Yeah.
So you ended up paying like what? Like $64 or something like that?
It was a lot.
Or $80?
It was a lot.
Yeah, there's like 9 or 10 chapters depending on which version of the game you're playing.
But as it turns out, I didn't know this until today, like in that version, you only have to play like 2 or 3 of the scenarios to actually beat the story.
Yeah, it's like, is it the last 3?
No.
No.
It's Kane's story, Theodore's maybe, and then the crystals.
Okay.
I learned a little bit more about all the different versions today, and I never played that interlude either.
Oh boy,
But-
it fucking sucks. Oh god, it fucking sucks. That interlude. Can we? Or we're talking about the game now, right?
We got the pretty interesting package here.
We do, but man, that interlude fucking sucks, dude. Like, it is so fucking bad. Like, because like when I started doing it, like I sent you a text or a message, and I was like, I don't know, man. I don't think I can do this because we discovered, like, okay, so last episode, the randomizer at the end of the episode, the randomizer selected Final Fantasy IV, and it's like, we're at the point now where it's like, well, if it picks a game that we've already covered, but we like the game, maybe we'll look at like a ROM hack or something like that. So the After Years came up, and it's like, okay, yeah, the After Years, let's do that. That'll be short. Fucking no. It is longer than Final Fantasy IV. It is like, when I looked it up on like how long to beat, it's like 35 to 40 hours. It's like, that's longer than Final Fantasy IV, isn't it? Yeah, it sure is. So, so I was like, okay, well, fuck it, we're doing it. I'm going to start with the interlude because the interlude bridges Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy IV, the After Years. And what they mean by that is play the sealed cave and Tower of Babel again.
The two worst parts.
I know. And it's like, hey, man, do you like that area where it's just trapdoor after trapdoor after trapdoor after trapdoor after trapdoor after trapdoor after fucking trapdoor after fucking trapdoor? I fucking love it, man. Can I do it with Weston? Can I do it with a not full party? You bet, dude. You bet, man. What do you like about Final Fantasy games? I don't know, like building a party? Cool. Well, you can do it with 2 characters.
Which characters are they?
I don't remember. Well, here's what really sucks about it. The second chapter in Final Fantasy, the After Years, is Rydia and Luca.
Yeah.
And guess what you do in that chapter? Go to the fucking sealed cave and go to the fucking and it's just like, oh my god, I'm doing this a second time. But now I am doing it with literally a fucking black mage because she can't summon. She can't summon. A mysterious girl stole all her summons. So it's like the summoner in the game is now just straight black mage. Which is fine, I guess. But who's her companion? An engineer. Sweet. So who's going to take all the hits? I don't know. You figure it out. Engineers are great, aren't they? No, they fucking
Remember how much you loved Sid? No.
Sid was only in Final Fantasy II. The only time I remember being glad to have him around was when you go to the cave, the Dark Elf cave, because he could use that wooden hammer, and he was a pretty good damage dealer.
Yep.
And everybody else had a hard time finding weapons to actually use, but Sid was like, well, fuck it, I'm just going to take a big mallet and start beating the shit out of people. But other than that, I'm pretty useless.
Man, oh my god. So, this game for me is just like, what sucks about it is there's some chapters in this game that I played that I really liked. Like Yang's chapter, where it's like Yang and his daughter Ursula. It's like, okay, because that's like they have like real like actual character moments in that, where it's like in the other ones, like Theodore's is just like,
well, man, my parents cast a big shadow, and I'm the captain on the ship.
Right,
man,
because
things have really changed.
Because he's Cecil and Rose's son.
Yeah.
And at the end of the interlude, that's how it ends. They're like, oh, I had a baby. And then Yang has his baby. And Yang had a baby. And then it's like, this is all fucking completely like, oh, yeah, I could have pieced this together. Because like it's very easy to know in the very like the first chapter. Okay, all right, Theodore's their son. Okay, great.
Like do you need to spend all this time developing the very self-evident fact that, first of all, if you played the interlude, you know what's going on. Second of all, like, okay, just there he is in the throne room with Rosa and Cecil
proclaiming that he is their son.
Thank you.
All right, cool, got it. Glad I spent 5 hours on that interlude.
Bye,
Thanks.
Mom. Bye, Dad. See you. Like, off into the world to make your fortune. I mean, 2 was such a well-oiled machine, I felt like. And to follow it up with this is just, I don't know, like, on the one hand, it's like, I feel a lot of nostalgia because I'm going to see this place, the sealed cave and all this stuff that, like, it was, horrible, but, like...
It's nostalgic.
It's nostalgic. But it's just, they've phoned so much of it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a
It's
copy.
almost more like a randomizer version of Final Fantasy IV.
But they try to overlay a story on it. Because it's like a randomizer is one thing because it's like, sweet. You don't have to worry about a story. It's just like, it's just literally go to like find all the things that you need to find. Right. And it's like, but this is like, we're going to tell a story Kinda. It's the same story as Final Fantasy IV, just with like their kids.
They're kids, and you're gonna fight a lot of octopuses going through the underwater cavern, like a lot.
like okay, so in Final Fantasy II, the whole thing was that Golbez was stealing the crystals.
Right.
A Lunarian shows up and starts stealing the crystals, and immediately when this starts, it's like the crystals are in danger.
Yeah.
Well, who's taking it? This mysterious person. We're fairly sure she's a Lunarian.
Also, the second moon has reappeared, and it's like, I wonder what they are.
Where could this be going?
And it drives me
Super Lunarians. Shit.
It drives me crazy because all the characters in the game, and it's like, what is it? Is it called dramatic irony, where like the viewer knows what's going on, but the characters don't? But it's like, it's to the point where it's like, you guys are fucking idiots, because in every chapter, it's like, what's going on? I don't understand. We went through this war. Could it be the same thing?
Let's go ask Cecil. Cecil's doing some evil shit. No, not Cecil.
Not Cecil. He would never. He did. He is. He's doing it.
So let me read this letter we got in this package.
We got a package.
See if we want to do this package, or if we want to keep going.
We'll continue shitting on this game in like 10 minutes.
After these messages from this nice person who sent us a package.
Dear Tadpog, since I retired from dumpster diving, I started to think about what to send you now that my trash hoarding days are behind me. I wanted to send you something that wasn't too expensive and was nice, so I decided to start up a new hobby, and this is it. I make this little cube things based on video games, and I tried to pick a couple of games that I think the two of you would like.
Oh,
I
yes.
even went so far as to start a store on Etsy. If you'd like to mention the store, it's...
Please.
Yeah, I'm going to... Apes in Capes. Otherwise, it's no big deal. Anyways, thanks for everything you do, men. With love, retired holy dumpster diver.
Thank you, retired holy dumpster diver.
Apes and Capes, absolutely. Link in the show notes.
These are the dioramas that you were talking about,
This is one of my favorite
right?
things in the world.
Apes and Capes. Did you say it was an Etsy store? Yeah, okay, I'm going there right now. Let me see.
Dave.
Oh, man, a Ghosts and Goblins cube.
Cool as shit.
Oh, my God.
Fuck, yes, that is amazing. This Ghosts and Goblins one.
Dude,
That is
holy
nice.
hell,
That is
man.
really nice.
That is awesome.
Look at that.
Oh, my God, man. Holy shit. Yeah, this is great.
Oh, then I'm sure this one is for me then. This Earthbound one.
Nice.
Badass.
I was about to...
And for the Mac Pizza and Onette.
Oh, my God. These are great.
Yeah, this is fucking amazing.
That is really cool.
Yeah, I love this.
So I'm on his store right now, and he's got
I got Miller. I'll pass that one over to you. Check that out.
a Super Mario 2 one, which is like with Wart, and then the Nightmare Machine.
Oh, yeah.
That's really cool. There's a Kid Icarus one, a Metroid one, the Earthbound one, a Mother 3, Stardew Valley. Wow, yeah, he's got a lot on here. Heroes Quest, Trial by Fire, Castlevania, a set, the three Castlevanias for NES.
Oh, shit.
Adventures of Link, which looks really, really good. These all look really good. Symphony of the Night, Sunset Riders, like holy shit, X-Men arcade game.
Sunset Riders, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Link's Awakening, River City Ransom, Ghosts and Goblins, Abobo's Big Adventure, The King of Dragons, Super Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Indiana Jones, Doom, Diablo, Prince of Persia, original. Holy shit, man. And it just goes on and on. There's even a Mystery Science Theater 3000, several Mystery Science Theater 3000 ones. This is awesome. This is great. This is a great store. Seriously, everybody should check this out. Yeah, this is really fucking cool. Apes and Capes.
Apes and Capes. I got to admit something, Tyler. I tried again not all that long ago to play Earthbound, and I just couldn't do it.
Still not your thing.
Oh, yeah.
Still couldn't get through it. No. I don't know why. It just I can't get on board with it. I don't know why.
If you had to choose between playing Earthbound and Final Fantasy IV, the After Years, which would it be?
Oh, probably Final Fantasy IV the After.
Yeah, wow.
Because at least the characters are relatable to me. Even if I don't like them.
You don't relate with 4 small children?
No. No, unfortunately not.
4 small psychic children.
It's fun to put ass in when it asks what your favorite food is. So there's that.
Ass or pussy or math.
I am familiar with those memes. Yes, I have seen that. Yeah, but sorry, I really want to like Earthbound because Tyler loves it so much, but I can't do it.
Well, I was talking about it on stream the other night, because I think it was Beloved Adam who was talking about just not being able to get into like JRPGs, and he mentioned Earthbound, and Earthbound's like really highly regarded, and it reminded me of when I was playing Earthbound for the show. I was playing it with Tyler sitting in a chair next to me, and it like enhanced my experience of playing the game because it was like I had not just a friend sitting next to me, but like also Earthbound Wikipedia, like a living, hi, I'm Tyler, Earthbound Wikipedia.
Well, I don't feel like, having played quite a few JRPGs, I would not say Earthbound is one you want to start with anyway.
It's not a typical one, but I think that might be it depends on what you like, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Because like if you don't like the sword and sorcery kind of thing, then maybe it's a better entry.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would think if in retrospect, all the ones that I played, if I was going to start with a JRPG, Final Fantasy 2 may actually be the one.
Yeah.
Or 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's good storytelling. It's a good world. There's, the storytelling is pretty good.
It is. It's also very straightforward, which I think is like where it kind of like where like fans of the series will kind of diverge, because it's like I think 4 is a great game, but I really like how non-linear Final Fantasy 6 can be.
Yes.
Yeah,
but that can also be overwhelming to somebody who's never played.
Yeah,
JRPGs.
totally. Absolutely.
They don't like, what do I do now?
Right.
I've got a fucking airship. I can do anything.
You can do whatever you want. Yeah.
Now, what you can do is go get a Genji glove and an offering, go to the Tyrannosaurus Forest and spend the next 10 hours power leveling your entire goddamn party so you can run through Kefka like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was all, and this is off topic, but I actually played the remastered version of that not that long ago. And got to actually do like the Dragon Cave and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing until I had bought the remastered.
I haven't done the remastered version.
It's pretty cool. There's some little extra content like that.
Yeah.
There's 2 extra like dungeons. One that you do that's I think kind of specific to Locke, and then the dragon dungeon where you go in and it's really complicated.
Oops, all dragons?
Yeah, it's really complicated because you got to take parties to certain places and click. It's a maze essentially, and you got to click levers to get you past one thing. And go
gotcha.
to another, and there's some.
Do you split them up like kind of like the final dungeon and before you fight Kefka?
Yeah,
cool.
And then after you fight all the dragons, then there's like Mecha Dragon there at the end that you've got to do. So it's cool. I can't remember what the thing is you get for it. There's some kind of prize, but at that point, what's the point of a prize? You're going to use this this new relic to go beat the other shit that's left, which is nothing. So. But yeah, that's something.
That's cool. What are you playing it on? Like mobile, or is it?
I was playing that on Steam.
Steam. Okay.
Yeah, I think
that's a 2D remake? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's basically the same game. They just have this extra shit at the end.
Gotcha. Okay.
Where after you beat Kefka, like you can still kind of fly around and do some stuff.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
But now that we've talked about games we do enjoy.
Yeah, back to the game that we don't enjoy.
I when I played the After Years, I enjoyed my time with it. I did do something I never do in Final Fantasy games, which the encounter rate is
my fucking god!
bonkers.
What the fuck is up with this encounter rate?
Yeah,
it's like every 4 steps, and it what fucking sucks about it is. What's weird is like playing the After Years made me realize one of the things that I love about Chrono Trigger, and it's how important it is that the battles happen on the fucking map.
Yep.
You don't get, because it's like what happens in Final Fantasy IV, the After Years, is I'll take 3 steps, random encounter, the battle will take 4 to 5 rounds, it'll end, and then it's like I'm back on. I'm like, where the fuck am I? And then I'm like, wait, where did I come from? And then I'll take 3 steps, wham, you're back in a random encounter.
That's
actually
ridiculous.
That's actually the 3DS version that I'm playing. It's better about that because it has a really distinct mini map, so you can kind of follow along. Where
that is nice.
But it also takes like any kind of dungeon diving effect out of it because it's like you can see exactly where you're going.
Just follow the mini-map?
Just follow the mini-map. Like, don't pay really attention to what you're doing. Just follow the mini-map to get where you're going. You're in a place that's supposed to be a maze. Well,
you have a map.
you've got a map. So not so much with but yeah, the random encounters are a little bit, and in certain parts, like the last story that I did was Palom's story. Which is basically you go to Mysidia, pick up.
He's a fucking dick in this game.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, man.
Like I remember, like little Palom and 2 being basically like Dennis the Menace,
Right?
Like a little Bart Simpson scamp, and now he's like this fucking goth kid.
I guess that's what happens if Bart saves the world.
Shitty kids really turn into non-shitty adults.
I mean, holy God! Like I remember, like starting his chapter up and being like, "Oh, is this how it's going to be?"
Yeah. You just want to smack the shit out of it.
Yeah.
See, I hate that he gets so much of the development. Porum doesn't have her own chapter.
Yes, she does.
She does?
Yeah, at least in the PSP version, she does.
Oh, maybe I played one that didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, she's got her own chapter because it goes like I played Palom's, and then it went Edges, and then after Edges is Porum. Because I was like, oh, it's weird that their chapters aren't back to back. Because you'd think that with them being twins and all that it would be. But
was Porum's like? Does it have a lot to do with Kane?
I don't know. I haven't played it yet. The last one I played was Edges.
I just got to Edges and I hadn't finished it yet, so I'm not sure what Porum's is like. But Palom's, it gets okay. You take this girl, this sage, to this tower, and now you just climb this tower while she does magic.
Yep.
Every like 3 or 4 steps, there's a random encounter. And then you just go to the next level. She's still casting this shitty magic, and then she gets to the end boss, which is a tiny little one of those tiny mages. And now she can use the actual spell. Well, now let's learn Blizzard. Now you go to the next level and the next level. It's like, is this really necessary?
Well, and then you get to the top, and then you're like, okay, we did it. Time to go back down.
Yeah.
And you just have to go back down the fucking tower. Random encounter. And it's like, can I use warp? And it's like, I use warp, and it's like, sends me up a floor. And it's like,
because I thought warp took you out of the dungeon.
Me too.
It just takes you down a level. So you can warp yourself out after you run out of MP because you're just warp. Oh, wait, this is that one weird stage where I went back up a level, down and back down, warp.
See, maybe that's what happened to me that threw me off, because I remember trying warp and being like, I went from floor 3 to floor 4? This isn't going to work at all.
There's a couple of spots where you're in the same map, but on a different little section, and it does that, yeah.
What's the name of that girl who he's bringing up the mountain?
Leonora? Yeah.
Okay, so in that chapter, at least there's like a really good moment, because like they do a really good job of like, Palom is a fucking dick. Like he's misogynistic, and it's like, because in Edge's chapter, he's all like, he says something to like the female ninja in Edge's chapter that's along the lines of, "Oh, you're just a girl," and it's like,
it's rare for a woman to want what you want,
right? It's like, what? But like he's kind of a dick to what's her name?
Is it strange while Ratty is not with me, because we had a thing going on 16 years ago, and clearly she's not here.
But like Leonora, like he's a dick to her the entire way up, because like he's essentially teaching her how to use black magic, like you were saying. And like they get to the top, and it's like she finally tells him off, and it's like, oh sweet, because like something happens where I can't remember where, like
I literally played it yesterday, and I went through this, I have no idea.
It's not super memorable. I guess that's kind of another point that I'm trying to make. But it's like something happens where it's like, oh, it's when the mysterious girl shows up. And like he's essentially about to give up, and Leonora's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? You've been riding my ass this whole fucking chapter, and now you're gonna be like."
Oh yeah, well, petrified.
Right?
I'm fucking stoned again.
Right? And Leonora's like, "You fucking idiot! She's gonna break you!" And then just grab the crystal, you dumb shit.
This old chestnut. Speaking of rehashed material from the first one, like
it is so much recycled in weird ways material.
Yes.
But then when Leonora shows back up, and she's just like soft. Like, what the fuck did you do that for?
I was stoned.
You ruined my master plan. And he was all like, I've got an ace up my sleeve.
Right.
Like, this is an ace up your sleeve.
That doesn't work for every scenario.
What's also, I can confirm that it doesn't work, because I tried using soft on Palom and Porum in Final Fantasy IV, and it didn't work.
Does not work.
But like speaking of like rehashed material, like How many times have I fought the demon wall? Twice, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the interlude, you fight the demon wall, and then in
Remember this? Wasn't this fun? Let's do some more.
I mean, it was stressful. Is that what you mean by fun?
Yes.
Oh yeah, oh, cool. We're gonna do it twice after I fight
Do you have-
18 fucking trap doors. Sweet.
Do you have
Fucking
bio this
sweet.
time?
Hey, I wonder if we're ever going to have to go to the antlion cave and find a sand ruby. Turns out you're going to have to go to the antlion cave and find a sand
as
ruby.
just Edward? Wonderful.
Oh God, see, I haven't played Edward's chapter yet.
Like, I haven't either, but I saw it on a thing that I watched.
no.
That
Edward's
spoony
chapter
bard.
is actually not that bad. They do a lot. Edward gets the most character development from anybody in the chapters.
Yeah, that's good.
Man,
My least favorite character.
Oh.
You know, something that occurs to me, though, as I was watching this video, because I was trying to catch up, because I hadn't played the first few chapters I played a couple of years ago.
yeah.
So I'm trying to remember what I missed. And they talk about in Final Fantasy, in the original, Edge and Rydia having some kind of like, I don't know, he had a crush on her or
Yeah,
something?
I think Edge is kind of like a proto Edgar. I think he's
Yeah.
like a lecherous king kind of.
Any hole will do.
Yeah.
Which is
It's the Ninja Creed.
It's my ninja way.
if there's not a hole, I'll make my own.
Believe
But the thing that I think you forget about is that like Rydia went from a like 8-year-old girl to
Time
like,
works differently in the land of monsters, son.
That's fine. That's fine. But King Edge,
We didn't see her. In the 80s, you said off camera. It is appropriate.
Is that your incel voice?
Her breast development happened in the land of monsters.
It's like any anime that I'm watching, and it's like there's a character that looks like she's 7, and she's like, I'm actually a dragon, so I'm 300 years old. I'm like, stop. I don't think I'm gonna like the rest of this anime.
I do not like where this is going. But I mean, that's what it is. It's like Edge, you only knew her as like an 8-year-old child. Like just because 2 days later she appears to have gone through, puberty.
Super puberty, like Shredder, poor news.
Are you really? Are you okay, Square, with the message you're sending here? I mean, I'm not so sure. I'm not liking this. I don't.
Don't want to commit statutory rape? Find a time mage.
Yeah, it's not good. But I don't even remember that being a story arc, honestly.
No, I think it's just like comments,
Yeah.
right? Like I think it's just like lines of dialogue.
So it's got to be, Cecil and Rosa are lovey-dovey, and Kane is over there fuming like
Fucking Kane.
like
Fucking Kane.
Jean Grey and Cyclops making out with the Wolverine.
Wolverine,
Kind
yeah.
of frowning. That's them. So then it's just
Look.
Roddy and Edge like, you want to have tension? Nothing else to do on this moon ship.
I'm just gonna say it, man. Whatever happens to Kane is fine with me. Cause fuck Kane. Like, dude, up your will save, man. Because it's like
Every time you turn around, this guy's having problems.
every time, and it's like I ran into him, I guess, in Yang's story at the end, where like he's like, I'm gonna get this crystal, and he's like, I am doing this on my own volition. And it's like, sure you are, Kane. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he'll surprise me.
There is something, I think a long time ago I mentioned the biggest selling point to me for the After Years was something involving Kane that I used to, whenever Josh and I would play Legos and we made all the Final Fantasy characters. What happens in the After Years, I did playing Legos with Kane. And whenever I saw it actually was a real thing, I was so fucking excited.
I wish we
And
could
it's-
talk about it.
And it's something, I don't want to spoil it, but it's something that happens that I'm just like, when I played it, I was like, holy fucking shit! Now I'm in for the After Years.
Definitely save it, because like even though I'm not really enjoying this game, I am committed to finishing it.
Yeah.
And doing a second episode. I put too much time in at this point. Like this is the sunk cost fallacy, the game.
Like, you are really describing the sunk cost, because I'm not 100% sure I'm going to finish this fucking
I'm
thing.
like I got like there.
I'll be back in a couple of weeks, but I'm not probably not.
All of the chapters are kind of, it builds to the point to where they're all together, and once they're all together,
You get a full party finally?
Yeah.
God, man, because that is the worst. Like, coupled
And
with...
you get to pick from like 25 characters.
Yeah. Well, coupled with the every 4 steps is a random encounter, it is like at any given point, like in fucking Edge's chapter, you're playing as one ninja each time. And it's just like, oh my God, dude, some of these can't even heal themselves.
Yep.
Do you know there, and maybe it's only the 3DS version, but there is an auto battle function.
Yeah.
And you can just basically set
Walk away.
and just let it go. And like it will prioritize your healer to heal whoever's like lowest in HP. So you don't even really have to play the game.
You just move them after battles.
I haven't figured that. I didn't, because I'd watched this video where I explained that after I had stopped playing.
And you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I've been doing it wrong.
Wish I'd known that.
Well, I was looking at. I watched the video about all the differences in the 3 versions that we played.
Okay.
And it seems like the definitive version to play is the one that you're playing, Dave.
The PSP.
Yep. And it has, because the most refined version is the 3D version. The version that has the most differences and content is the PSP version, because apparently the ninjas can die and be gone for good.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. I
Like,
read
wait.
Like
So-
if you die, you don't like start over and continue. You just move on to the next ninja, and you
Next
just don't
ninja.
You just don't get to experience what happened.
Wow.
Because
so, like, what happens at the end of that chapter? They all meet at the Tower of Babel. Is Edge like, where is everybody?
All my ninja friends are dead.
Is that how speedrunners do it? If anyone bothers speedrunning this,
I
do they
hope
just
so.
fucking kill the
Just
ninjas immediately?
die.
Because every ninja, apparently, if you watch like during the, I guess you'd call them cutscenes during other chapters,
Yeah.
you'll see those ninjas like pop up in places.
Oh, really? I hadn't noticed
yeah,
that.
Because what they're
It's
doing,
really evident in the 3D version.
yeah, it's what they're doing is going out
They're
and like,
recon.
yeah, doing
Yeah.
recon on everybody else. So I know, like in the very first guy who, I mean, you can't tell the difference in the version you're playing, but the bigger ninja who is like the leader, and
Is that the one who uses the axe?
I don't know because I haven't even used him in
Gecko or whatever his name is?
He like sort of gets involved on Mount Ordeals during the Kang, not Kane. What the hell's his name? The
Theodore?
the monk.
Oh, yeah.
Yang, yeah.
Oh, right, because he buries the monks that die, right?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that the mysterious girl kills.
Yep. So yeah, so you'll run into them in places, but if they die, they're just dead, and you didn't catch that little piece of the story.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Mysidia, whenever like Porum is talking, you see like a little blue frog in the background, and that's one of the ninjas doing recon.
Oh, that's neat.
They did have some cool little touches like that.
I do like, honestly, like the way they reference other chapters within a chapter, because it's like you see a lot of that happen. Like with the example of like in that ninja's story where he sees the mysterious girl kill all these monks. In Yang's story, there's like a monument there for those monks. And it's like, well, that's cool because it kind of gives you like, and it's out of chronological order. So it kind of has this like Quentin Tarantino does Final Fantasy IV kind of thing. So it's kind of nice.
Well, there's one dwarf that says Nani Ho instead of Lolly Ho.
Right. Yeah, that's one of the ninjas.
And that's one of the ninjas.
Right.
So,
And that's in that ninjas chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some interesting.
Yeah. No.
There's another
I like
fight. I know it's in the 3D version. I don't know if it's in the PSP version or not. I won't say exactly what it is, but I know if you don't have the right party configuration, one of the main characters can die and not come back.
Jesus Christ.
But I know it's in the 3D version.
Can anyone tell me what the fuck is going on with naming Way in this game? He's like, I'm not naming Way anymore. People don't want to change their names anymore, so I'm challenging Way. Have you run into him?
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just a PSP
I don't remember
thing.
that. Yeah.
And then, like, you talk to him, he's like, come to me when you're further along in your adventure. Okay. So I don't know if it's bonus content or...
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I did run into something weird on Palom's story. When you go into the town there, and I can't remember what town it is. It's not Mysidia. It's...
Is it Troya?
Troya, yeah. When you go into Troya, you go into basically what appears to be a whorehouse.
Yeah. It's like it says pub, but it is absolutely a brothel.
It's a whorehouse.
And it's like, was it always that? And I didn't realize it like when I played Final Fantasy IV?
Yeah, I do remember that one little, because there was the girl in the pool of water like playing and jumping up and down and her legs sticking out of the air and shit. So it's that same area. But I went in there and bought like a writ of membership for 2,500 gil or gold or whatever it is, and then give it. I'd go and try to go in there, and Leonora stops and she's like, "We don't have time for this shit." I don't know exactly what you're planning, motherfucker, but we got to go.
You got to teach me fucking black magic now.
Well, I didn't have the money to buy the thing when I was there the first time, but after I got back from the here we reached the top. Now, what do you do now? Nothing. I just look at this. I literally just have to look at this. Well, there it is.
Callum even comments on that. I think
he's like, "That's it.
That's it. You just had to look at this thing."
But yeah, you get back and I was just like, well, I'm going to see what this is all about. No. Yeah, whatever. And he was such a dick to Leonora.
Oh yeah, no, he's a fucking he's a dick,
asshole.
and it sucks. It's because it's like I don't know. I always like Palom and Porum in Final Fantasy IV, because it's like I don't know, black mage, white mage twins. All right, sweet, I'm on board for this, and they're kids, and it's like okay, they're like they bring
And
some
that
like
twin combo.
yeah, totally
Which got replaced with this band system.
right. We should talk about the different systems, the new systems.
Yeah. Oh, well, that and the whole moon phase
moon
thing,
phases.
fucking, I hate that.
I think it's neat, but it is constantly annoying me and fucking me over because it's like, okay, I got I have a party full of melee characters. Oh, sweet. So now it's a moon phase where all of my physical attacks deal half damage.
Right. Now, you can break that because all you have to do is go somewhere, use a tent, and it'll move to the next moon phase.
Right. And which I've been doing, but it sucks because it's like,
still a pain in the balls.
Dude,
yeah.
I go through, like, I've probably gone through more tents in this fucking game than I have in any Final Fantasy game. Like, I mean, it's just straight up like the beginning of an adventure. I'm like, a chapter, I'm like, well, better buy 8 tents. I don't know if I don't know if they'll give me someone who can heal. I don't know what the fucking moon phase is going to be. Tent.
Yep.
Well, and then because I wasn't paying attention at first, and I thought, well, it's going to be like a minimal amount. You're really not going to be able to tell the difference. But like, oh no, like if you pay attention, it does a severe amount of, handicapping.
Yeah,
to
it like
your
it like
ability.
literally halves it. Yeah, or it can boost like abilities too, which is great when that happens. But I don't know.
I would just assume leave it the fuck alone. So it's not one less thing I've got to worry about. But
I get that they're trying to do new stuff, but I think
this is what you chose to do new. You recycled everything in this fucking game. The people, the places, the things. But no, we're gonna do this.
So I think like the Devil's Path or whatever, you never actually get to do it in Final Fantasy IV, but now you get to do it
because it's kind of like an instant thing. Yeah. And they do add little extra dungeons.
Serpent Road, is that what it is?
No, I think it's the Devil's Sidewalk or something.
Well, I remember the Serpent's Road is what like warped you from Mysidia to Baron or something like that. I thought that was what it was called.
That's it.
Maybe that.
No, I mean that's the path we're talking about.
Maybe it's called the Devil's something in this version. Maybe it was Serpent's Way. In the original.
I mean, I don't.
Now you actually get to travel on it, like literally fight.
It's a
it.
dungeon. Yeah. And then there are also like a lot of the dungeons are reused from Final Fantasy IV. Like the bulk of them are, but they do have new dungeons, and most of them seem very small, but they try to make them larger by making the mazes. Like there's a forest maze that you have to go through at one point, and it's like okay, but it's to the point where I'll see treasure chests, and it's like if I can't immediately figure out this, like this is just to give you an idea how much I like this game. Like on a scale of do I get the chest or don't get the chest, I don't get the chests. Like unless it's like there might be a tent in one of those chests and I really fucking need a tent, I'm probably just gonna let it
in
go.
your version, every chapter has an extra dungeon.
Oh, okay.
That you can find and go through and get.
They don't have that in the Wii? On the Wii version?
I don't remember it being on my version. I remember like you said a band system. Like I remember seeing anything like that.
Oh, really?
The band system? Yeah, it's basically like combos.
It's like it's dual text.
It's like dual text or triple text in Chrono Trigger, but not good. Like,
I was about to say that I don't think that was in the original at all.
I didn't think they were.
They're okay, but I mean they take a long time to do, and it takes 2 turns in which you could probably deal more damage than the actual.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't actually help.
Because the graphics in the WiiWare version was just barely improved from the original SNES graphics. Just barely.
Well, that's the one thing about the 3DS version. Like, it does feel a little bit fresh because it's not literally the same, like, icons, the same.
Yeah, because it's 3D models and all
Yeah.
that. And I like
So-
the model work. I think the models look pretty
They look
decent.
all right.
I mean,
I think they did a good job with a lot of the towns that I've been in.
Mm-hmm.
They do tend to, everything tends to just kind of run together when you get into dungeons, though. It's just like the same colors and the same pathway going to the same thing, the same chest that has the same, echo drops or whatever bullshit. Like, things that I'm never going to use.
dude, man, then they totally give you echo drops when it's like, I don't know, maybe think about the treasure you get in a dungeon, like Square, because it is straight up just like, yeah, you'll get echo drops, and it's like, do any of these characters cast spells? No, okay, all right.
Well, in again, because it's fresh in my mind, with Leonora and Palomar going up, and when you fight the Dark Elf, he immediately turns somebody into a pig,
Yes.
and you've got nothing to stop that. Except you got a ruby like armlet or something, which I don't think in the original game the ruby armlet protected against pig. I think it was just another, piece.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these pieces have effects, but I didn't learn that until I'd gotten turned into a pig and lost that fight 4 times in a row and was getting ready to throw my fucking laptop out the window.
I lost
was
that
like,
fight
okay.
the first time because he pulled that shit. And then, like, the second time, what was fucked up about it is, I think it was like the first time I fought him, I like had like one random encounter before I got to him from the save. And I think like Palom leveled up and got Osmos or something. Yeah. And then the second attempt, that random encounter didn't happen. So it's like I got in there and I was like, oh, fuck. So then it was just like slow the Dark Elf, haste us, and then it's like we were able to get like two rounds in on him for his one. Because, man, he fucking... It's hard,
Oh,
like
yeah.
he is in
That was
the,
a
like
pretty
in the
hard
first
fight.
game.
Because I finally, I got to the point where I'm gonna keep nuking and I hope that I can just outlast him.
Yeah.
And then he turns into the dragon. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, I was like, oh, good, he's dead. Now you see my truth. Oh, god damn it. Like, yeah, come on. I will say, and I don't know if this is true of the other 2 versions, but the 3DS version, when you lose a fight, you start right back where you died.
Really? You don't
Yeah.
go to, like, there's not like save points or anything?
There are, but if you die, you can choose to continue from like right where you were standing before that fight happened.
do that.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, I don't have that option. No, that sucks. Like,
you can do these quick saves, which allow you to like save and quit, and you can just continue back exactly where you started from, rather than loading from a specific save.
interesting.
So it's a little easier to handle if you ever run into something that's kind of tough like that. Which I don't remember up until this point. Again, I played the first part of the game farther back. I don't remember it being super tough.
I've died maybe twice.
Yeah.
The random encounters, especially as you get further on, are way harder than the bosses. Like, it would take up so many resources to do a random battle because they were so hard and there were so many. I just ran constantly. Toward the end, when I was playing all the final chapters, I just ran constantly. And I've never done that in Final Fantasy.
And see, that's how I know I'm not enjoying the game that much, because one of my favorite things about every time I've played through 2, 4, 3, 6, whatever, 10, that was a great joy, was to just power level the shit and just walk in circles until I got another battle and like strategically kill certain party members so I got all the XP for that one character.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just boost the shit out of them. And I've got no will whatsoever to try to do that with this game.
And
None.
I think a lot of that for me is because it's like the way the chapters are set up. Like, I don't know, like, first of all, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, like I don't know who to level. And it's also really difficult to do because there are situations like in that the Palom chapter where it's Palom, you got a black mage and then a sage, and it's like, all right, well, cool. I mean, we're not gonna be able to like last very long.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they have those vases where you can get like refresh your HP and MP.
They're nice about putting those in there. But like, is this going to matter later?
Right, I have no idea.
Do I need do they need to be higher level later on in the game? Are they going to come back in a later chapter? I don't know how this is playing out.
Right.
I would like to sort of hit on the fact that the way this was released originally, this episodic, like what you went
Monthly
through,
bullshit.
that seems crazy to me.
Yeah.
They wanted to do I read that they wanted to do it like a manga style, where it's like kind of like serialized, where it's like, here's this, and they call them chapters. Like, here's this chapter a month later, and doing it that way. Honestly, I don't know if it had anything to do with artistic value. To me, it feels like they just wanted to make you pay $80 for this.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be like a manga, only one where you pay full price for every comic and every chapter.
And see, they probably they would get people like me who was like, I don't love this. I also don't hate it, but fuck, I've played like some chapters and I guess I want to see how it ends, Well,
I remember the original, there was originally only 8 chapters. I remember reading about this because Square was really like, a year out after it had been released, was really pumping up the numbers. Like, we've had a million, purchases of this game. And it's like, have you had 1 million purchases of the game or 1 million purchases of a chapter? Because if you had 1 million people download 8 chapters, that's great.
Right, that's 8 million.
If you had 125,000 people download, a chapter each, that's a whole different thing. So, but I cannot imagine playing through one and just being so enamored with it. I couldn't wait to the next.
I did.
No, I get it. I do, because it's like, granted, like, when I played it on the Wii, I remember like buying it and then like not finishing that first chapter, which made it real easy to be like, nah, I'm not going to pick up anymore. The PSP is a lot easier just because it's like, it's all fucking bundled and it's not $80. And I think you can play it on the Vita too, because I think it's still on like PSN. Yeah.
I wonder if it just, obviously if you put them all out, because I don't remember what I paid on Steam for it. It wasn't much, maybe $20.
Yeah.
But I guess it was probably a little easier to swallow to only pay $5 a month, and you don't realize at the end of that you've paid $80 or whatever.
Right. Yep.
But maybe that was part of the built-in, thinking there.
I also might honestly enjoy it better if I was not playing it all in one big chunk. If I was like sitting down and being like, all right, one evening I'm going to play a chapter. And then sometime next month, I'm going to sit down one evening and play the next chapter and do it that way. Like, do it as a release, as opposed to doing them back to back to back to back, where it's like, I'm in fucking Mount Hobbs again. It's like, God damn it.
Here we go again.
There are other locations.
But there's not. You're on the same map that you were on before.
Right.
Now you just don't have an airship to fly around in to go see all the different places. That's irritating.
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoy it for what it is, but it's just, the other thing is Final Fantasy does not have a great track record with
sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like, I don't want to shit on X2 because I know
I knew we were going to go there. I know
there is a certain fan base that really liked X2.
Leva. That's about it.
Leva.
I liked what I played of it, but I did not finish it.
Oh, no.
I played it and I was like, yeah, this is kind of fun. And then like something else came out and I was like, all right.
I watched somebody like a 45-minute compilation of somebody on Twitch playing through Final Fantasy X, just the highlights, or 10-2, and just being like, wow, I did not realize some of this shit happened. all these weird, awkward, like, dancing moments with Yuna and how brothers really, really creepy.
Right.
I want to see Yuna do her dancing. The dancing.
I've seen so many memes about Yuna's shift from Final Fantasy X to 10-2.
Yeah. And then Riku constantly making this pawing gesture in the air.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Well, I think that was we have these Mithra assets just laying around in Final Fantasy 11. Well, Riku's got to do something. Pull him in.
Yeah, cute cat girl. That's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Do it. It's fine. Let everybody love lightning, right? Put her in 2 more sequels. It's fine.
I never played any of the 13 sequels. I never finished 13.
I've got them both.
No,
and I haven't touched them.
Pretty much after 11, like I gave 12 a go. And obviously 14.
You're right, sure.
That whole thing. But, Final Fantasy games stopped really doing it for me the more complex they got. And the more complex they got, every one is a little worse than the next and worse than the next. By worse, it's like
More complex.
Yes.
Like another level of
having to deal with shit. Yeah.
Did you play 15?
No.
I'm curious what you think about it. If I were to guess, my guess would be that you fucking hate it.
Probably.
I'll let you borrow it if you want to.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing it.
That way you don't have to fucking buy it, because I do have a feeling that maybe you'd hate it.
Yeah, I will. That will be an eaten cost that I cannot ever get back.
Right.
Because I beat 13, but I only beat it because I happened to play it on spring break.
Wow.
And I was in Orange Beach, and we're going to the beach, Tyler. What do you want to do?
Play this horrible game.
I'm going to play this and not go to where it's all like sunny and sandy. Like, that sounds awful. I'm going to stay right here. This is better than that. Come back when we're going to go eat crawfish. Other than that, I'm going to sit here and do this.
I remember going to Florida one year on vacation, and it was during the summer, and I had to, while I was there, prep for the next show, Joe and Mac 2. So I'm sitting in a condo in Panama Beach playing Joe and Mac.
Yeah.
So I've been there in that sort of exact scenario just for the show. I did a lot of preparation for that. Every other show that I've done, not so
Thank you, Miller. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
And then I suggested Pixels. all went to hell.
Well, that's like one Dragon Con where I literally spent one full day in the hotel room playing Castlevania 3. And people are like, "Are you going to do anything today?" I'm like, "I am doing something.
This is fun.
I'm playing Castlevania 3.
That's what I did for Dragon Con. Like, I spent a whole day playing Sword of Haja just because it came out, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
And
this is good.
I remember that one Dragon Con where you spent like the whole thing playing like Majora's Mask. I think it was. Wasn't it?
Yeah, I was trying real hard.
Yeah.
And then there was that one Dragon Con where you were just on the toilet all day. That's at least one day out of every Dragon Con. I'm guessing. I've never gone, but I do know you, so.
Man, I wonder what Dragon Con's going to be like when it comes back. Like, it's going to be in fucking sanity, I think, is what it's going to be.
I want to go so bad. But ugh.
I don't know that I can. Because it's like even like last year, well, not last year, but the year before, because it was closed last year. But like, it gets harder with like, because I remember like my mom has watched Henry like every Labor Day, and it's like, she kind of was like, "Do we need to do that again, or can we actually do something on Labor Day?" It's like, "Oh, okay, okay."
Yeah, the pressure's mounting. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's.
I just don't see how. I don't see how it's done again for years still.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm not fucking going until mask is out of our vocabulary. You know,
yeah. That's the thing is,
and thanks to Jim Carrey, it never will be.
Well, nobody stopped him.
Why you son of a bitch. you son of a bitch. Why? Why did you do that? If there wasn't so much expensive equipment on this table, I'd turn this motherfucker over.
Man, God, that was a fucking dual tech right there, man. I saw that volleyball floating in the air. It's like, fuck yeah,
man, you just came right out of there, Goose.
Oh God, Jack shot.
Yeah, damn it. But we talk about going on trips now, and it's like, Becky's like, we need to really go on a vacation. I'm like, I'm not going to go on a vacation where I've got to spend the entire time wearing a fucking hazmat suit everywhere I go. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to save my vacation time, save my money until we can do something right. And that ain't coming anytime soon, it doesn't seem like. So.
No, yeah, it's still not. This whole year is definitely still going to say the same. So maybe with the vaccine's coming out.
Maybe someone will rescue us, like all of the characters get rescued in Final Fantasy IV: The After Years. Because like you were talking about the dark elf fight.
Hooded man, mysterious stranger.
I mean, it's just constantly like it happens so much in this game that it's like literally every chapter I'm like, is this the battle where I'm supposed to lose?
Yeah. Deus Ex Machina in. All right, there it is.
Because I mean, it is every chapter, and it's like, who comes in to save them with the dark? Doesn't someone come in and save him with the dark elf fight when he turns into the dragon?
The mysterious girl.
Yes, you're right. Because the mysterious girl breaks in, and is like, give me the fucking crystal.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, it's constant. It is constantly happening in
She
this
shows
game.
up and summons Bahamut in, I think, the first chapter.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
And that's the one you're supposed
That's
to
how
lose.
she roasts Cecil. Yeah, like all nines.
There's actually, if there's one good thing in the interlude, it's the ending. Spoilers for the Final Fantasy IV the After Years interlude. Don't fucking play it.
All the stuff on YouTube I read, like, this is dumb. Don't do the
Oh my
interlude.
God, it's the fucking worst.
You do it again when you start the chapter.
Yeah, it's the fucking worst. But the best part of it, there is a cool part where it was like, holy shit, that's awesome. Where essentially Rydia shows up with the Mist Dragon. And it's like, oh, that's neat, because like the Mist Dragon's just like, fucking bye, Bahamut. And it's like, well, that doesn't make sense. But but I mean, it's fun.
Oh, the King of Dragons versus like your mom. I mean, that's exactly what the Mist Dragon is. And if there's anybody that can take down Bahamut, King of Dragons, it's
Your mom. But it was still a like, that was out of all of the interlude, that was the like, oh shit, like, oh snap moment.
Because I was playing through the version I did. It was very weird because the mysterious stranger is Rydia's child sprite from 2.
Riding his child's sprite.
Rydia's child
Riding his
sprite.
child. Okay, I was
Yeah.
like,
He's riding that child.
I was like, who is his child? Is
Well,
it
I mean-
Palom's dad?
throughout the entire game so far, this mysterious green-haired
Right.
young lady summoning monsters keeps showing up, and it's like, well, okay, what the fuck? Is this not her?
Bizarro Rydia?
Yeah, is this Bizarro Rydia? Maybe it is.
Maybe
I don't
it
know.
is.
I haven't got to the end of the game yet, but
I also, don't know.
it's something going on.
And
She's kind of a dick, though. I know that.
definitely
I warned you. Now, fuck off, lady.
with that whole like inferior species stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
we get it. You're a super Lunarian. We fucking get it. The best thing about the interlude is the best and worst thing about the interlude is the very not hidden developers room. I don't know if you saw this.
No.
Oh my God. It is literally like you're in a dungeon. It's not hidden. It's just a door in a dungeon. And you go through it and it's like all the developers are there, I guess like Chrono Trigger style as monsters. But they're like, everyone you talk to are like, oh God, thank God this game is done. I can finally see my newborn baby. Yeah, it is like in a world where we're like talking about like developer crunch and stuff like constantly. It is like, holy shit, man. Because like I don't know if the developers just gave them free reign. They're like, yeah, just say whatever you want. But yeah, all of them are like, oh fuck, I'm so glad this thing is done. I'm so fucking glad this thing is done.
I'm locked in a hellscape
Yeah.
of squares making. Somebody please save me.
Boss yells at me. I mean, it is like, wow.
They have to put out a press release. Yeah, see, the thing is, their English isn't so good.
What they meant to say was, we're very happy here. And we hope you enjoy all $80 worth of this game.
Lost in translation. Sorry.
Did you know Japan is the only country where people die from overwork? By the time you read this, I will not be here. Shit.
It gets pretty dark. It gets pretty dark in the developer's room.
Yeah.
It is like, it was one of those where it's like, if Henry's ever like, Dad, I want to be a game developer, I'd be like, all right, go to the developer's room and Final Fantasy IV the After Years, and then see how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Scare him straight. It's like the DARE program. Make him sign a pledge card. I will not be a game developer.
I wouldn't use that as your comparison.
I know. Yeah, 'cause the whole DARE shit.
Yeah, Dare is absolutely proven to be nonsense.
Yeah.
Or an abstinence card. A good old abstinence card.
There we go.
Yeah.
What's the rings? Oh, that South Park episode. Where they
the
get
purity rings?
The purity rings. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. No problem. Just be slapping trash bags that are junk in it.
Speaking of
Like the post you made about me on Reddit.
What's the weirdest thing that you've ever done while horny? I'm like, well, not me, but I got a friend.
what
And
was it?
It was a Piggly.
I don't know that I heard. Have I heard
tried
the
to use the
story?
Piggly Wiggly bag as a condom.
Oh, right. Yeah.
See, I thought it was like a hefty bag, so I misremembered the story, but still,
that's like half a Fifi you made there.
So I just remember I didn't know about lubrication, so it was just crinkles and ow.
Crinkles and ow. It's
It's my favorite Pringles flavor.
Salt, vinegar, and ground up glass. Yeesh. Well, I don't know.
I guess I want to keep playing this game.
Yeah.
I mean, I do and I don't. Like I said, I haven't hated it, and it's been weird because it's like what's nice about the PSP is how like they did not give a fuck about save files because it's like the way that I've been playing it is play it on the PSP, and then it's like, man, the PSP battery is like fucking half an hour, and so it's like, oh, whatever. So it's like you just connect it to your computer and be like, all right, drag the save file over to my computer, load an emulator, and we're picking right up where we left off.
Yeah,
and then you can put it right back on. Where you're like, well, I want to play this in bed now, so put it back on and go to bed.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, I think it was just Sony was just like, we don't know about computers.
I'm worried about picking it back up.
We just got a spite from Nintendo anyway, so we don't know.
Right.
I'm worried about going through Edge's tale, his chapter.
Yeah.
Because one of the few things about it that I really like is the nostalgia for all these characters I played before.
Oh yeah, you're not going to get that.
And you throw in these four just random and go out of your way. And you can't probably tell with the sprites in yours, but like they've gone out of the way to have like fat ninja, old ninja, tiny kid ninja, girl ninja. Like,
man,
they tried to cover all bases in these ninjas, and I'm looking at them going, one of them is literally like, I don't know if it's supposed to be like a really small child or just like a miniature person, like a Matt Roloff kind of small little person, big world kind of thing, or what? But I don't care about these people.
I'm kind of bummed out that you don't get to experience Chun-Li because Chun-Li's in this game. She's the girl ninja, essentially. Like the very first time I saw her, I was like, they put Chun-Li in this game? Like she's dressed just like her.
Well, what if they had to contact Konami about that?
I don't know. I think they probably just changed her just enough. But she's definitely wearing like the blue and with the gold trim and like all that.
But can you really tell? Is it gold with blue trim? The sprites are so small. Is it hard to tell?
Right, Your Honor.
There's only so many colors in this RGB formula.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, whatever. We'll pick it back up and talk about the rest of it when we get there. I intend to try to play the rest of it. I really do.
I think once you get through to where they're all together, it'll get better.
Yeah.
Which is a while away, I think.
It's Edward. You've got Edward's chapter.
Yeah, I have Porum's chapter, Edward's chapter, Kane's chapter.
Then the crystals and the Lunarians have their own chapters in at least the version I'm playing. I think.
That's good. That's a really good one. That feels like more like Final Fantasy IV.
This feels like Final Fantasy IV. But like just like mixed around, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't hate it, but I definitely have problems with it, and I see why people complain about it a lot.
Yeah, I see its charms, and it is what it is. But like you're not creating anything new with this game, really. I mean, it is just rehashed material that it was a cash grab, and that's fine. I have no problem with a cash grab in certain circumstances. If you're playing to people's nostalgia, I like nostalgia. That's cool. I mean, I'll pay a little bit of money for it.
We all read Ready Player One.
Yeah.
We liked that season of Arrested Development where it was the weird episodic.
The Netflix one?
Yeah, where everybody had their own episode
Jesus
or whatever.
Christ.
They did that for one season for a reason, but I still watched it.
No, I watched it, but I was like, man, why did they do this? Why couldn't they have just like we got the zombie version? Like they tried to resurrect it, and it's like they fucked up the spell, and it's like, God damn it! They blended the girl and the dog.
I don't know. They can really do no wrong with that show. I feel like
Michael, it hurts.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I hope it gets better. Like it's not like I enjoyed Edge's chapter just fine. It was really just Rydia's chapter fucking sucks so bad because it's her and Luca just going through the fucking sealed cavern, fighting doors. And then Theodore's chapter where it's just like, yeah, man, you're on your own. You're just playing as one guy.
Yep.
And it's like, man, all right. And then Palom and Leonora, where it's just, well, there's two of us. That's the biggest. It feels like they've forgotten what makes a Final Fantasy game like that fun. And that's like building a party and like, how those party members interact with one another. But hopefully when they all get together,
that's when it feels better, because now you have this huge cast to mix and match and do with whatever you want.
That is nice. And it's like at the end of, not to spoil Edge's chapter, but like there is a point where like all the ninjas meet up with Edge and it's like you're rolling with 5 fucking ninjas. And it's like, this feels real good because it's like some of them can heal, some of them can throw, some of them can dual wield. I mean, you've got like they're covering all their fucking bases.
They would be a cool final party. I never did that one.
Oh yeah, that would be yeah.
Maybe. So you can actually take them to the final battle, all 4 of them or 5 of them.
If they don't die.
If they don't die, yeah. I remember I went back to my Final Fantasy IV party, like the party you end up with.
So what'd you do?
Cecil, Rosa, Rydia, Kane, and Edge.
Yeah.
Like what was it? I was tempted with Theodore because I think Theodore is like secretly the powerhouse character, but I didn't like him very much.
Theodore has so like what the fuck is Theodore's Awaken ability? Where it's like, because like he has an ability where you choose Awaken, and it's kind of like Terra's like Esper form, but I don't know exactly like. I mean, he kind of does more damage, but then like after like I don't know 3 rounds, he's like, oh, I have 2 hit points.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's awakening his Lunarian heritage.
Yeah.
Did anybody actually use Terra's transform ability?
I mean, I tried it a couple times.
It was just
not really
pointless. It was a waste of a turn.
For real, yeah.
I mean, only for a boss battle if I didn't use it for pretty much whatever the entire dungeon was. So it would, I could do it for the whole time.
More often than not, I'd use Gal's Rage just to like meme fight a boss. It's just like, let's see if we can beat this boss with Gal and Rage.
Mog, you dance. Gal, you rage.
Setzer.
Tomorrow, you be you. Let's just see.
Yep.
Go-Go. You just throw Go-Go in there.
Right.
Go, you mimic whatever this
happens.
is.
Right? Oh man, I kind of wish they would do something with Final Fantasy VI, but at the same time, the kind of person I am, where it's like, yeah, exactly. Just it's fine the way it is. Just fucking leave it there. And then, like with the remakes and stuff, like you're talking about with the extra dungeons and stuff, like that's all we need.
Unless you're gonna give the full Final Fantasy VII treatment, make a whole new badass game.
If they did do that, that would be pretty. Yeah. That would be pretty great.
Other than that, then I think I totally agree with you.
But I think that I don't know, man. Like Final Fantasy VI, I feel like Final Fantasy VII is more linear than Final Fantasy VI.
I think that's true.
There's plenty of extra shit you can do in 7, but I mean, like, it feels like in 6, they're like, well, you can do these story points in any order that you want. But I feel like in 7, it was kind of more like, well, here's the path, man,
Well, I remember of course, we're talking about a different game now, but in Final Fantasy 3-6, like when you split off, after you've done the returners hideout and you split off like
into 3 groups.
That was the craziest shit I've ever seen. I'm like, wait a minute, I can pick which one of these I want.
Yes.
Oh God, I'm gonna need a minute. I don't know. Right? There's so many activities I can do.
Do you have a set order that you typically do them in? Because I do.
I always save locks for last because it was my least favorite.
Okay.
See, Terraban and Edgar were my least favorite. I usually got that out of the way.
Okay, so we all agree on the favorite one.
Yeah, Sabins.
Yeah, right.
Sabins
absolutely.
I mean, you go and you go to Doma Castle and then you get the ninja whose name Shadow. I mean, yeah, and it's by far
Clyde Arony. That's his goddamn name, Miller.
But that's by far the longest of the scenarios too.
Yeah, it is.
The Bannon and Edgar and Terra is just bang,
Right.
bang.
And I
you
like
just-
that one. That's the one I usually do first.
Yeah.
And then I do Edgar's, which I agree with you. Edgar's is, Locke's is my least favorite of
Yeah.
those.
See, I love that one too, but
I mean,
I
I like
usually
it.
just do it
I like
second.
it, but yeah,
it's interesting stealing clothes and going through that town and like getting to different places. But then you realize the end game of that is getting zealous, and it's like, that's, all that for her.
all right, Palom.
It's not a fan.
No, I get it. I wasn't either because it's like, honestly, like, as a kid playing that, I never really understood the runic ability because it's like, and it seems like it's nullified by so many different things because it's like, oh man, you got a spell, you got to absorb. Well, I mean, I can just cast silence on that guy if you want, or like reflect, or there's a whole like once you introduce reflect into the equation with runic ability, it's just like fuck, man, this is
it doesn't even absorb ally magic. So like you runic, and then like Edgar's like, all right, Ultima, ching.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, that basically that entire party. When you get down to it, it's like I want to have Edgar in the party at all times because the tools are always going to do
fucking bioblaster and auto crossbow,
and Saban's probably going to do a badass blitz.
Yep.
And maybe you have, I don't know, but you always have at least one of either Terra or Locke or Celis, only because all three of those characters can both use the Atma weapon and the Genji glove.
Yeah.
So you've always got those two because it's on automatic. So you get an offering Genji glove. Nah. Whatever. Nah.
You might be a Dan Aykroyd.
Nah. Whatever. Nah. It's like, because otherwise, they're not casting magic. They're not summoning shit. Just put it on auto attack and you're going to do 4,000 or 40,000 damage plus whatever shit offhand you give them.
Yeah. I think what we're trying to say is that Final Fantasy VI is a really good game. And you should probably play it before you play Final Fantasy IV the after years.
That'll be your soul bleach is playing Final Fantasy VI after years.
Was that on?
It's like, man, this is good.
Was that on that episode, or did y'all do that with Josh and I wasn't on it? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I remember you being on our horrible Final Fantasy IV episode where we just did the trashy walkthrough that we got wrong.
Right. Cthusia Chef liked that episode. He set it a point to tell me that he liked that episode. So it's like, thanks, but man, that's I appreciate it, but I don't know. That's pretty rough, wasn't it?
Yeah. We went to Fabul now. Wait a minute, I don't think you go to Fabul. Are you sure? I think you went to Troya now. That doesn't make sense. Yeah. Let's argue about it and not look it up and try to continue the episode.
It's like it was like an unfunny drunk history, but it's like game facts instead.
Drunk game facts. We reading game facts and trying to tell you the walkthrough.
I don't know. You figure it out. We get angry. We get angry with the listener when they know like where to go next. Oh, if you're so good, why don't you fucking do the episode?
I'll go home. I'll take a nap.
I don't give a shit.
Drink a bunch of Screwball. Drink a bunch of peanut butter whiskey and see how it goes.
It makes my jaw hurt.
Okay.
It was so weird. Like I took a drink and it was like the taste a warhead would give you, only it was peanut butter in my jaws. Like,
oh, like when your like jaw kind of like tenses up kind of deal.
Yeah. But with peanut butter, it was a very weird sensation.
Rotten peanut butter.
Rotten peanut butter.
Rotten Reese's Pieces.
Oh, do we have a quiz or anything? Did Ross send us one this week?
I do have a quiz. I was kind of like, it's been so weird. Like when Ross sent the quiz, I was like, oh yeah, a quiz. That's a thing we do. Because like this, I knew this episode was just going to like completely break our normal format, which is kind of nice. I've really enjoyed doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been fun just shooting
talking,
the shit. And I do have a quiz that came in now.
Not sure the listeners are going to appreciate it as much as we have.
This will be a good one.
Yeah, I feel like this, I mean, typically I feel like when we have fun, it's a good
through.
episode. Yeah. I mean, I had that great mask joke that you guys fucking hated. There was that.
I'm afraid people are going to equate me with Pixels now. They're going to see that I was on this episode and be like,
now
we can skip that shit.
Now.
Hashtag more Miller, hashtag more pixels.
Hashtag, that's been a thing since then. This is hashtag less Miller. That's why I haven't been back in a while.
Dude, you are an oft requested guest host, like for real.
What Phil was like, I don't care about the after years at all, but Miller, that sounds good.
People are legitimately excited that you're back.
Well, it's because usually I tell stripper stories, but I haven't done that yet.
Do you have one? You can wedge in here real quick.
Man, I'm getting old.
Fuck it. Let's all go to a strip club right now.
Let's go make some memories, fellas.
Let's get our masks on and our hand sanitizer and stay 6 feet away.
I've had my vaccine. I'm fine.
Get a socially distanced lap dance. How do they do that? They just have like glass they grind up against.
I could tell a stripper story about Tyler, but it's highly inappropriate.
Oh, well, let's stop it. That sounds great.
I'll leave that for a Patreon. And after I get permission from several people. Like several
including
people.
the stripper.
I don't know if she remembers me, but I remember her.
I do have a quiz, which feels weird to say after absolutely what has felt like a Patreon episode.
You're right. I still remember I got to bring it back up. Us going to that one strip club in Paris, and we walk in, and there's that girl from high school that we know, and she doesn't see us until we get right up on the stage, and she's like holding her tits, and she turns around and sees us and just fucking stops.
Oh, yeah. And then
and you just fold out your dollar, and she comes over, takes it with her boobs, is like, you motherfuckers do not say a word.
But another friend of ours, I don't know if we can name names. But
I wouldn't.
If it's Brandon, it's fine.
Oh, it was Brandon.
It was
Yeah,
Brandon.
It's fine. Yeah. Why didn't you just say?
Before we leave, Brandon and this girl disappeared to the champagne room, which amounted to like a broom closet with a sheet, with like not even a sheet, it's like a shower curtain.
Yeah.
And they don't even close the shower curtain. He gets a lap dance from this girl.
He didn't know her. He had never met her like we knew her.
Oh, this was the girl that you guys knew from high school?
Yes.
I don't know how he graduated with her. Like, school wasn't that big.
Because she was the year behind him.
Okay.
And in a very different social circle.
Well, that's true. Now, he did graduate with her brother, though, I think.
Yeah, he did. That's true.
So, but yeah. And
He's also a stripper. I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
We saw him and I went up and like he took it with his pee hole. But don't you say a fucking thing.
So
It's like fucking Goku's tail. Just grabbing the dollar.
after we get ready to leave, and it's like, okay, we're leaving now. And she came up and like grabbed my arm. She's like, you guys leaving? I'm like, yeah. She goes, where's Brandon going? You taking him with you? Leave that motherfucker here. I want some of that.
He's like, dude,
wow.
I think, yeah, she wants it. Should I fuck her? No, Brandon. No, Brandon. We're leaving now.
Absolutely not. Well, then.
Why? Can you get into it?
Well, I mean, I don't know a reason. I haven't seen medical reports.
Oh, we're just assuming.
I'm gonna guess.
But rolling a 70 in your sense mode would be like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
But here's the Paul Harvey rest of the story on that girl. She came into my place of work sometime later after that. And of course, at that point, I knew what she did for a living. And she was like, here, I wanted to give you this. And it was a sign.
She started grinding on you in the office. She's got a boom box on her shoulder. If you want it.
It was a signed professional headshot of Steve Wilkos. This was when Steve Wilkos was still.
What?
This is when Steve Wilkos.
The
was,
guy from Jerry Springer, man. He goes, Steve.
Oh my
Steve.
fucking God.
She had been a guest on Jerry Springer and had brought back all kinds of Jerry paraphernalia and brought me one of these things.
What episode was she on?
I don't know. I looked it up and it was fucking crazy.
I wonder if it's the one with next door Nikki.
It was your
That would
typical,
make sense.
It was your typical Jerry, he stole my man. Now we're going to take our shirts
right.
off and beat the shit out.
Right.
No. It was a pay-per-view. Like Jerry Springer did a pay-per-view way back in the day.
That was the next door Nikki episode, I believe.
Yes.
I think it was.
Yes, now that I remember it, it was a pay-per-view.
shit.
Because I remember early 2000s. Man, I really want to see this girl's breasts. Where do I get it? And it's like, well, she did take her top off once on Jerry Springer's pay-per-view. And it's like, well, I'm not going to buy that, but I will find it.
Yeah. So look up Tyler Get to Digging. Find some Jerry Springer pay-per-view. If you can find it, we will show. We will at least show Dave who this girl is.
I'll
Yeah.
just message her on Facebook. It's been 20 years.
Just like all her posts. Man, I love how we just mentioned Patreon and then we all just dove into a Patreon. Like, fuck it, I guess we're doing a Patreon episode then.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that absolutely happened. Ooh. Brandon was. He was on the chopping block. She was gonna have it one way or the other.
They'll have to remove a quarter of it when you're done, Brandon. So no, just let us go. Oh man, what about that quiz?
I do.
Yeah, we were doing something.
I do have a quiz.
Sorry, I just kind of went off on the
I jumped in
No,
there.
I love that journey that we went on. That was great. Man, that was fucking wild. I haven't thought about fucking Jerry Springer in a minute. I remember my dad loved watching Jerry Springer, and my mom fucking hated that my dad loved watching Jerry Springer. It was the best.
See, I used to love Maury, but
Yeah.
because Maury used to have like
The Maury changed.
he had a wide range of topics.
Maury went full TLC, where it's like, fuck that real shit. This is what's popular. This is what we're doing.
You are
Yeah.
the father.
Yeah, that is it now.
Yeah.
Like they used to have at least twice a year the special on progeria. Like the kids
Yeah.
with like
Yeah.
the weird aging syndrome and like it's very sad, but it was also really interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
And now it's just like you're not the father, and dude jumping up and Anyway, quiz.
I've got a quiz that came in from Ross Rachel Green entitled After Years. When we moved, Ross begins. When we moved into our house in May 2019, every room had to be decorated because it was either bloody awful or damp. We rushed around the house decorating every room to a standard we could live with and planned to do it properly next time. We have now started to do some more decorating, but it would be too easy to do one room. We have to swap the dining room and living room, so we have to do two at once. I have
What?
I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they swapped rooms.
Yeah. I mean, I see what he's talking about.
I do too.
You're moving one, like you're moving the kitchen table in there and you're moving
Right.
the couch in here. You can't keep the same sort of decor.
And he does say that they rushed. So, like, was it like they got done and they're like, oh, shit, we put the living room right next to the kitchen. Why did we put the dining room there?
That's the only reason I can see.
Right. Yeah.
Well, we'll give this 2 years and we'll change
Right.
it.
You know, if they really thought it through, they just fucking move the kitchen. They'll have to move one room.
Right. I mean,
You're right.
move the kitchen into the bedroom.
All of them.
and
Yeah.
Move the shitter into the garage. And
Let's just fucking have fun with it. Throw some spaghetti at the wall. See what fucking sticks, man. Ross continues, we rushed around the house decorating every room to a standard we could live with and plan to do it properly next time. We have now started to do some more decorating, but it would be too easy to do one room. We have to swap the dining room and living room, so we have to do two at once. I just read all that all over again.
I'm like, this is information we have.
You guys are welcome. That little tidbit's for y'all.
We spend so much time dicking around that people probably forgot.
Right.
Now you're going to have to go again.
No, yeah, totally. Let me start from the beginning. When we moved into our house in May 2019, every room had to be decorated.
Are you planning on swapping rooms?
Let's see where this is going.
Why not just move the kitchen? Blah, 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 blah. Remember that time where I just went, I guess I'll do that again.
Something shitter garage.
All right, now we're caught up. I have finished hanging wallpaper in the now dining room, but it was a horrible job and wondered how much it would cost to fly Tyler's mother over on more than one occasion.
Yeah, pretty cheap.
Because she's a wall hanging
Loves
prodigy.
hanging wallpaper.
Anyway, games starting with the titles After Years.
Huh.
So I think the first letter is going to be A, and then the next letter is going to be F. Yeah. All right. Are we ready?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the quizzes, how they work, Miller?
I'm assuming, yeah. So
Okay.
Start with A, F.
Yes.
Games that
All
start
right.
with A,
Yes.
with F.
All right. I didn't want to just, fucking throw you in the deep end here. This is big league podcasting here.
I just told a story about Brandon getting rubbed on by some dirty hooker in Paris, Tennessee. I don't think anybody's going to notice if I have to stumble through this.
Fucking watch out, Joe Rogan. We're coming for your ass. We got your Spotify contract right here. First question. This A is a vertically scrolling shooter originally released in arcades in 1992. It was the first in its series and a spiritual successor to the 1991 Turbo Force.
Speaking of Brandon, is that Axelay?
Maybe it is Axelay. I do not have a better answer than that. So I'm
Axelay or Afterburner? Is there a
Say
Super Nintendo
it
Afterburner?
again.
This A is a vertically scrolling shooter originally released in arcades in 1992.
Yeah, no.
I'm trying to remember Axelay. A lot of those, I hate to say this, shooter fans are going to not like this, but like a lot of those games just kind of like
kinda
They
blur.
melt together.
Yeah.
They're vertical or horizontal. It's the only difference I ever feel.
Was Airwolf a vertical?
Probably. I don't know. I have no idea. Tyler, I felt like Tyler was pretty confident in saying Axelay.
Axelay.
And I don't have a better guess than that.
No.
But if it turns up being Airwolf, we're going to fucking count it anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Locking it in. It is Aero Fighters,
Shit.
which is a pretty expensive one. I know that, but I couldn't fucking tell you what game it was. I just know that someone on Twitch chat was like, yep, I got it. It was expensive. Next question. This F sees the water buffalo's leader retire. As his last decree as Great Poobah, he makes a contest in which whoever finds a particular treasure.
It's Flintstones, the game, I'm assuming.
All right.
Yep,
Flintstones, the game. Locking it in.
It's Flintstones.
What's
something.
the full title?
Oh, fuck, who knows?
Flintstones, the Great Poobah Caper or some shit, probably.
Flintstones, the treasure of Sierra Madrock. I'm really glad you guys got that. I wouldn't have gotten it.
Have credit.
Not full fucking credit. You said Flintstones.
Yeah, Flintstones is the, yeah.
All right. Next question. This T is named after a sporting judgment in which the referee decides the match cannot safely continue. Technical knockout?
TKO. Yeah.
All right. Locking it in. It is TKO Super Championship Boxing.
Nice.
Counting it. Next question. In this Super E, the Azima Empire establishes a headquarters on the dark side of the moon. In this Super E, the Azima Empire establishes a headquarters on the dark side of the moon.
That sounds familiar, but I have no idea.
Super Earthbound? Tyler, can you confirm?
Probably.
Ring any bells?
Is it Super Earth something though? Maybe not Earth.
Super Earth Force? Earth Defense Force? I don't know.
That's a game.
It's a game, but yeah.
I say Earth. Earth Defense Force is a good guess.
Lock it in. It is Super Earth Defense Force.
Nice.
Wow.
All right.
Holy shit. All right. Next question. In this Super R, Jack Buck in the Super R, Jack Buck provides a play-by-play analysis of the action. Has to be a sports game, right?
It starts with R,
Super R, play-by-play. Who's Jack Buck? Like a deer hunter? I'm Jack Buck.
I'm an actual buck.
Yeah. Ironic, is it not?
Slay my brethren.
super racing
Oh, yeah.
awesomeness.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Super Racer?
Race driving.
Super Race Driving.
Super RC. Is there an RC game?
Super RC Pro-Am?
Something like that. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
Who the fuck is Jack Buck?
I don't know.
Who the fuck is Jack Buck? My name's Buck, and I like to fuck.
And I like to drive tiny cars. Super RC Pro-Am. I'm logging it in.
Yep.
I don't even know if that's a game.
I don't know.
I hope so.
It is Super RBI Baseball.
RBI baseball.
Thought you were saying Arby's. Super Arby's.
Super Arby's.
Jack Buck. Yeah, he ate that roast beef sandwich. Good.
I'm Jack Buck, new spokesman for Arby's. Have you tried the crinkle cut fries? They're pretty good. I'm Jack Buck, everybody.
Everybody knows me, the Arby's enthusiast, Jack Buck.
You might have seen my editorial in the Arby's newsletter.
I do an Arby's exclusive podcast for people who work at Arby's.
Actually, that'd be pretty good. I would definitely do that podcast.
So what's new with bacon, cheddar, and Swiss chicken sandwiches?
I just want to know their stories. I just want to know the employees' stories. Like, I'm Jack Buck, and I'm here with Rhonda to ask her one question. Why? Why?
Rhonda, my God, why?
There's a Wendy's right down the street.
You might actually be interested to know, speaking of fast food, I was scrolling through Reddit one day, and I was checking out Roast Me, because every once in a while I like to go through there and just see how sad that's getting.
It gets soul crushing.
Yeah. I noticed the top vote, or like it had 4,000, 5,000 upvotes, and I looked at it, and it were these two guys, and it was like, Roast Me and my dad, we worked together at Dairy Queen. And I'm like, I looked at it, and I'm like, that guy looks familiar. I'm pretty sure he works at the Dairy Queen in Calvert City. So I texted it to my brother, and I was like, is this that guy that's always coming to the dump that you call Killer B? He was like, that's fucking Killer B. Killer B is internet famous for getting roasted. And apparently he did not know that this other guy was posting his picture on the internet. And
it wasn't him?
No. Well, yeah, it was him, like one of his coworkers. They're not actually father and son.
Okay.
It was just the younger guy.
I thought they were.
No.
I thought it was like the family trade.
No, but apparently he got super pissed that he had been put on the internet and hadn't been paid for it or something. The guy's not.
Tell me, how does Reddit work?
Killer B don't get on the internet for no money, my son.
How much GameStop stock do I get?
You gotta understand. This is a guy that would come to the dump where my brother works and rap. Like,
well, his name is Killer B.
He's a 49-year-old man who has.
Does he love Naruto?
Maybe 3 or 4 teeth in his whole
There's
head.
the rapper from Naruto named Killer B.
The rapper?
There's a rapping ninja named Killer B.
Dude,
yes.
I got out at the right time with Naruto because I'm glad I wasn't around for that.
He's the 8-tailed Jinchuriki, Killer B.
Oh, no. Next question. Can you rap one of his raps?
It don't even make sense to me, like at all. Like he's rapping in Japanese, so translating into English like makes no sense.
I respect my teacher, and also I eat when my dad tells me to.
Let's fighting love. Shinto, we can protect my balls.
I haven't thought about that in a long time. Oh, Jesus Christ.
But Butters.
Oh, Jesus. Man, I remember that episode is so funny, but like at the same time, I've never felt like that one like actually like was one of those episodes I watched where it's like, am I maturing? Because I feel real fucking bad for Butters. Like real super bad.
Yeah. At some point, you've been like on one side of that scenario as a child. Like,
Yeah.
I did at some points in my youth. I was on both ends of that.
Right,
Like,
totally.
I was completely devastated by injury from something I shouldn't have been doing, and then had to go to great lengths. I wrecked my 4-wheeler and like cut my foot all to pieces and wound up like duct taping it into place so my mother wouldn't notice.
Good old field medicine.
Yep, that's when I got my first level in Ranger, man.
How did that turn out? Did it eventually just unravel it eventually?
I'll take the tape off someday.
It was essentially like I've always worn sandals. Anybody that knows me knows that like I wear sandals all the time. I'm not right now because it's cold and I'm getting old. Fuck it. But
We weren't gonna call you out.
I
It
was
cool.
I was riding this 4-wheeler with my cousin Clinton, who is fucking huge, just fat. Fuck you. Dude. Pretty sure he doesn't listen to the podcast, so I don't mind saying the guy's fucking large. But I go up a hill, and when we get to the top of the hill, he's on the back of this thing, and it just turns over on me.
Oh, no.
And the spiked, pegs or whatever on the 4-wheeler cut basically a complete circle through every layer of skin on my heel. So it pops off like a cap.
Oh.
And so what I did was, because I didn't want Mom taking my 4-wheeler away, so I duct taped that
made
cap of skin. I duct taped it back onto place and started wearing sandals and socks.
Oh,
and my mom was like, "Why are you wearing socks with your sandals in the middle of summer?" And I'm like, "Just the new thing, Mom. What do you want me to do?"
Oh no.
Yeah.
So then what?
Nothing. It just hurt like a fuck for about 2 weeks, and then it just kind of like grew out and it healed, and it's fine. I mean, I was smart enough even at that stupid young age to like put some,
Neosporin and
Pactine
shit.
or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
was on it, and it got better. But I had to walk on the round of my foot for a very long time.
You could have turned it into like a 6 slammer for your pogs.
I should have thrown it in a dehydrator, gotten a tattoo on it.
Oh
Do you have
God.
a scar now or anything from it?
No, I mean,
Really?
No, I mean, at this point, because I still wear sandals, I'm constantly, I tell you what, I got one of those like foot file things and like some foot soak. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's a game changer, man.
Yeah.
Get one of those little files. They're like $10 and just soak your foot in hot water and just give yourself a little pedicure. Do some self-care. It's
Or
great.
like the egg thing, like the pet egg?
Yeah.
What's a pet egg?
It's just
Is that an insertable or?
it's a foot file shaped like half an egg.
Oh yeah, Nikki's got one of those. Yeah. Okay.
Melissa has one too.
All right.
Yeah.
Just let me do your foot. Never mind.
I mean, it's just
Oh no, she nopes out
No,
of that.
she'll do a little bit, but like my big toes are bad.
real big. They're
real
super big toes.
I've got a second toe made of just hardened skin on my big toe.
Oh no,
dude,
It's
just
real gross.
Just do it.
You need a toe knife.
Yeah.
I mean, I can. I
a Danny
have. I have taken a knife and cut it off
it.
before many times because it is just hardened, dead skin.
You've used a toe knife.
Yeah.
Just it's like a cheese grater, man. You just take that cheese grater, you soak it for a little while, for like 10 minutes in hot water, then just go to town. It's great. Your feet will be so soft. When you get in bed and like your dry feet start to catch on the covers, eliminate that.
I like making like rap music. With it. Like a beatboxer with my feet.
Scratching.
Yeah, and Nikki's like, "What are you doing?" I'm fucking DJing over here. Stop.
It's like the meme. I bet he's thinking about other women. And he's like, no, I'm just laying in bed, composing my next rap.
In Japanese, I respect my father, and I go to school.
Are we gonna? Quiz.
Yes. Next question.
We're having too much fun.
Next question.
It'll be a long ass episode.
We're about on. We're on
course.
Yeah, we're on course. And man, look, if you're like, man, Dave's in a really good mood, it's because I'm not going to edit this at all.
Yeah, there's no reason
Yeah,
to.
it's just straight up, just fucking load it and go.
Yep.
Next question. This Y was initially released for the PC 8801 and PC 9801 in 1989, and versions for the MSX2 and X68000 soon followed. Everyone with me still?
Yep.
What does it start with?
A Y.
A Y. In 1991, I think I know the answer of it already. I think it's Ys 3, but I'm not 100% positive. In 1991, a number of console ports were produced. Versions for the TurboGrafx CD, Famicom, SNES, and Sega Genesis. A port for the PlayStation 2 was released in 2005. It is 100% Ys 3.
Okay.
Wanderer of Ys, I think it is called. Logging it in. It is Ys 3, Wanderers from Ys. Got you, Ross. You didn't think I'd get that, did you?
What is Yoshi's Cookie?
Yoshi's Island.
That was an SNES Club Game of the Month. That's the only reason I know that.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would have been like, fucking Yoshi's Cookie sounds good to me. Lock that shit in.
Didn't know Yoshi actually predated Mario, but
Turns out.
live and learn.
He's a dinosaur. He's a lot older than man.
Fair enough.
That's why Mario abuses him the way that he does. one day you'll be fuel. Next question. This E is a dungeon crawler published by Capcom.
E is a dungeon crawler. Published. Eye of the Beholder?
Eye of the Beholder. Yeah, it has to be. Locking it in. It is Eye of the Beholder. Well done, Tyler. Little D&D joint.
Yeah.
Next question. This Super A stars Master Higgins collecting fruit to extend the time you have to play the level. That is Super Adventure Island. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Locking it in. Super Adventure Island. Next question. This R features a number of popular heavy metal and rock songs in its soundtrack, hence the game's title.
Rock band?
I think it's Rock and Roll Racing.
Rock and roll, well, yeah. What was that? Read it again.
This R features a number of popular heavy metal and rock songs in its soundtrack.
Revolution X?
Hence the game's title.
I mean, it seems like it could be several things, but
I think it's rock. I would bet it's Rock and Roll Racing because Revolution X doesn't really indicate that it's a musical game. Like if you didn't know, like it was an Aerosmith game, it'd be like, okay, Revolution X. Is that like an X-Men thing or what? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Rock
We
and Roll
get-
Racing.
we're
Yeah.
Logging it in. It is Rock and Roll Racing, which is technically a sequel to
It's rock racing.
Radical Psycho Machines, I think is what it's called. We'll get to it eventually on the randomized list.
eventually.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good one. Notoriously bad. Next question. This Super S is a collection of card games. Super Solitaire? Is that a thing?
For the Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
Collection
I
of
mean-
card games.
It's super sim, super.
Caesar starts with the C. So,
Super. Is it Super Caesar's Palace?
Yeah,
I think
Caesar,
it is.
Caesar
Yeah.
starts with a C though.
But I think it's Super Caesar's Palace. Oh, Super S. I see. I see what you guys are saying. I thought the S.
Otherwise,
was
I
super.
would have said it's something like that. Like
no,
a
I love that. I
gambling.
was latching onto that.
Yeah.
Like Tyler's onto something.
Super Solitaire sounds
Super Solitaire.
Sure.
Locking it in. It is Super Solitaire, a game that I guess
a
exists.
game you were sad to get because why not just get a pack of cards? But here you go.
Mom, did you mix my present up with Grandma's? No. You know, I don't even play this on a computer, right? I always do ski free. Mom.
Is there super ski free?
And the last question is a shady game seller asks if you want to buy some games. He has 10 games, all wrapped for $10 each. 9 of the games are worth $1, with one worth $50. You have to decide now how many you will buy. How many do you buy in the hope of getting the expensive game? Answer before clicking the drop down. All right.
None. Fuck that.
So
none. You're not gambling.
No.
Okay.
So essentially, if you bought all of them, it's going to be worth how much?
If you buy all of them,
It's
be
gonna cost
50 plus 9. So $59 is what it would be worth, the value of the game.
And you'd have
total.
to pay $100 to get.
And you'd have to pay $100 for that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't. No. But then again, I give a lot less of a shit about getting a $50 game than some people might. So I don't. No.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't.
I mean, because the only way, because I mean, I guess best case scenario is you buy 5 of them, and then it's just 50-50 whether you're not, you get the good one and you kind of break even.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you make like $4 off of that, right?
So
potentially.
I'll just go, nah.
I just kick the dude in the nuts and take him.
Yeah.
I'm fucking badass.
Fucking, yeah, there you go.
Fuck this guy. Shady game dealing piece of shit.
I feel like I'd buy one.
One just
$10
to see.
bucks. $10. Yeah, I'd do one. And then it's like, even if the game's worth $1, just cross my fingers that it's not a game that I already own.
I'm just reminded of what's that game shop that was in Murray when we all lived there?
Dragon's Horde?
No, it's still there.
It used to be over by 50th and Olive, like that little bitty gaming store.
I don't know. Was it like board games or was it video games?
It
No.
was board games.
You talking about the karate studio?
It's right beside- right beside
next
it.
to it. Yeah. What was it called? I played a couple of games there. I used to play D&D there.
Because I used to go there all the time to buy all my D&Ds. There's my beautiful wife and my wonderful, beautiful son.
Hey. What's up, y'all?
And she's
Bringing
brought us cupcakes.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, buddy. What was the name of that place?
But I just remember going there and buying, and it was like $10 a pop, buying miniatures.
For D&D.
For D&D.
Yeah, the little plastic boys.
And like, one pack always had like a rare. We bought so many packs.
Mm-hmm.
And we had so many fire
elementals. I was getting ready to say you had a dearth of fire elementals.
They were clearly going through the boxes, taking what they wanted and just putting shit back. Like how did I buy 10 boxes and we got 10 fire elementals?
Oh, were the fire elementals the rare ones in the box?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
But like we just had so
many of them. Mm-hmm. Have you priced any of those recently, like on eBay or anything? Like
I
I'm
still
curious.
have the big box in there.
I'm curious if they've like, if they're like the books and are worthless now, or if they've actually gone up in value.
Yeah. I wouldn't say they're probably in great shape now, though. Like, they're still like, oh, is this like Ein and Rivers fur
Right.
still?
Oh,
still on
sweet. This one's only been melted and reformed 4 times.
I've got a handful of your miniatures that's still it's on my desk. There's like a cleric of Lolth and a spider of some kind, and I think one of the fire elementals. And definitely a water elemental. Yeah, I've got a few of those. I got to remember to bring those back sometime.
The medium water elemental, the large fire elemental, and then we had like the huge
the Nightwalker or whatever.
The Nightwalker, and there was a demon that was huge, and the Warforged Titan.
Oh, the fucking Warforged Titan! I forgot about that.
Didn't its arm fall off though?
No, I still got it.
Oh, okay. We always used to joke about using one of the cats as the
Tarosk.
The Tarosk miniature.
River, just lay here, stay.
So no, you guys aren't buying a game.
No.
I'll buy one. Now that we've all answered, we can click the drop down and see what Ross says. I rolled a D10 and it was the second game.
Okay.
So I lost.
We all lost.
Can't lose if you don't play.
There you go. All right. That's it. Thanks for the quiz, Ross.
That was fun.
Yeah, that's good. Good one, Ross. More successful than we've been on one in a while.
Yeah, I feel like we did pretty good on that one.
I'm happy that I knew one of them, sort of.
Yeah, I mean,
most of those games I'm only vaguely familiar with, even the name.
Yeah.
Eves 3, no idea what that is.
Well, like I said, I didn't know anything about, that's the only game in the Ys series that I've played. And it's like, if it hadn't been the SNES game of the month, I wouldn't have fucking known it.
And see, now I know it's a series of games.
There we go. There we
It's
go.
a huge series of games.
Yeah, it is.
I have like six of them on Steam. Have I played a single one? Even a minute? No. I have one on Vita. I think it's still sealed. I don't know why. I was like, I better like this series. I'll buy them all. Haven't fucking touched them. Will I ever? Probably not.
I mean, you might like it.
I might.
I mean, I hear they're great.
Yeah.
Ys 3 is, I didn't love it, but people are like, the other games aren't like this at all. So it's like, oh, okay.
If you like this, then don't play the rest.
Don't play the rest. Yeah, we'll get to it on the randomizer.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
I'm ready to talk about it when we get it.
Well, we'll save beards, glasses, achievements, and all that for next time. We have anything else?
No, I don't think so. We got just regular closing stuff.
Okay. Well, I also, again, Apes and Capes.
Yes.
His prices for these things you can buy the cubes on Etsy.
Yeah.
His prices are way cheaper than anything
I didn't
else
look.
I've seen.
I didn't look at his prices. I just
Yeah.
looked at his inventory.
Almost half from what
Wow.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, and these are
They're
nice.
really cool displays. Yeah.
Yeah, these are really, really nice.
So, thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on Stitcher. Stitcher, that's the place.
Uh-huh.
iTunes.
Yeah, that's the big one.
So much on YouTube.
Yes. Backlog Banisher Dane, thank you.
Yes. Oh
who
my
has
God.
Put up like 14 years of the show on YouTube in the
Yeah.
last week.
I just want to check real quick and see how far it's progressed.
I think we're in the 500s now. Like we're like
Man,
really
almost there.
He's like really got it into high gear.
534.
Yeah.
Marvel War of the Gems.
Which we recorded here in the Holland deck.
Yeah.
so
So
it's
he's
like,
been going back from the beginning.
since from about I think 300-ish.
Because Abby
Oh,
did
okay.
300, and then Dana's taking the
And then
rest.
Dane is like fucking just been like a machine getting these out.
Jeez.
So thank you, Dane. That's really awesome of you.
Yeah.
God, how many episodes has it been now?
We're on what episode is this? 598 would be my guess.
Jeez.
I don't know. Something like that.
I remember
You're not caught up? This is 597.
I haven't
597.
listened to any podcast because I haven't been able to go anywhere. I mean, my primary listening time is driving, and I don't fucking drive
Right.
anywhere because
Yeah. 2020 has been a rough year for podcasts. Like
Yeah.
the statistics do not look good.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, I'm working from home and I'd rather watch YouTube.
Yeah.
good thing all that shit's going up on YouTube.
Yeah, that is true. Not much to watch, unfortunately.
Right.
But yeah, you can listen
When
to
you
us
going to
there.
start videotaping as you're doing the podcast? Set up a camera in here, man.
Yeah, yeah, we've talked about it. I don't really see the draw, but
But I know
Yeah.
what I look like.
but right, yeah, we're gonna need to get a third host, and she is gonna have to be really bubbly.
Chanel West Coast.
I only know who that is because of the kids. That is.
God. Yeah, 2020 is awful. It's still awful.
yeah,
And then we're also, you like the show? We're on Facebook, TADPOG on Facebook, episode announcements, memes. If you're a fan of the show, like that dank shit, that's TADPOG Nation. If you like a nice, organized, good person chat, well, that's the Discord.
yeah.
What's that Discord link?
bit.ly/TADPOG Discord. It's cool. Yeah, it is. Try it. You might like it.
You might like it. We're on Instagram and Twitter at tadpog_podcast. If you want a shirt, that's shirts.tadpog.com.
Yeah.
You want a mask, that's masks.tadpog.com.
Uh-huh.
Most importantly, we got that Patreon. Let me pull that up real quick like.
I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/tadpog_podcast. I do that on Friday nights and Sunday nights. This past Friday, I streamed Star Fox Assault, which is going to be an upcoming Patreon bonus episode that we need to get scheduling all figured out for that. I usually will stream the game that we're going to talk about on the show. So I'll be streaming some more Final Fantasy IV the after years, I bet, here in a couple weeks.
I'll just watch you. I won't even play.
Hey, man, that works for me.
Just gonna get a bottle of dirty peanut butter whiskey and sit back at my computer and just watch you go. Look at Dave. He's kicking another ass.
I'll probably just be griping about shit.
So, big increase from Sick Jake.
Thank you, Sick
Thank
Jake.
you, Sick Jake.
sending us those Canadian dollars, I believe.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. The good stuff.
I just discovered Letterkenny, by the way.
Dude, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my God.
Everyone's been telling me to watch it.
You've got to watch it. Speaking
Yeah.
of Canada.
Yeah.
Those bastards. It's hilarious.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from a lot of people whose opinions I hold in high regard.
I mean, again, with 2020, I've really run out of shit that I enjoy. Like, I'm forcing myself to play games I don't like and watch TV shows that I don't care about. But that's one I found that was a diamond in the rough.
I need to, before we started recording, we were talking about MMOs and how it's like, I feel like I don't have time to play MMOs, but I need to get back into MMOs so that I can watch more TV.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough.
Yep. Because you can just sit there and start fishing.
And watch Letterkenny.
Yep. Pitter patter. Let's get at her.
Our theme song is Moose by Sycamore Drive. Link to that track found in the show notes at tadpog.com. Or if you want to send us a package, you can send that to Tadpog Studios, care of Nicole, Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky, zip code 42002. Or call us at 270-883-2555.
Thank you for doing that.
Totally forgot
because
about that.
I have a list of executive producers that
Yeah.
may or may not be up to date because I totally forgot my bag at home. But this episode was executive produced by the following people. Usurper Grimm, God Emperor Alex Pena, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Cousin David Galino, Coronavirus Savior Cubicle Monkey, Zeus Laser, Steve Dixon, Clambro, Cody Phillips, Lint Liquor, Joseph Phillips, Bantha Master, The Eightfold Daniel Abernathy, Plinko Nick Price, Time Lord Josh Edwards, Executive Producer Dig Duggy, Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G, Magical Sleeper, a.k.a. Big Dick Pie Baker Chris Vaughn, Laud Mulaney Dennis, Pinball Archmage Chris Edler, congratulations on your marriage, and I'm sorry you couldn't be on this episode. Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Drinksmith Joey Webster, Big Daddy Paul Anderson, Master Cycle Baron Kevin Link, and Captain Detective Count Victor von Cunnilingus Hart. Thank you guys.
Hell yeah.
And I guess we don't have to pray to the randomizer because we know what we're doing next week
Right.
and the week after.
Yep.
All right.
So how...
Tropical Capricorn.
Perfect.
Wait a minute. Is that
No, that's
something?
great.
Okay. all right.
Also, thanks for being on.
I'll be
Hell
back.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Be back shortly. It's been so long since I've been here. How does this work? Just talking to the microphone?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Just keep it right. Keep it at a 6 right there.
Was 11 the last episode you were on?
I think it was Pixels, wasn't it?
Pixel? Oh, the movie?
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah, I forgot about that.
I think it was.
Was I on that
I'm not
episode?
positive.
Think
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
You were on that one.
I don't know.
I think that was your idea. You're like, I don't know, pixels? Okay.
How was that even? Is that the one with Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I did see it.
And Cubert.
Tyrion Lannister.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, because the fat fuck from Queen of Hearts was
King of Queens. Yeah.
King of,
Kevin
yeah, that's
James.
the one.
James.
Yeah,
The
he
president.
was. Yeah, he was the president. Like, you want a believable piece of fiction? You make Kevin James the president of the United States. That's some real threat level midnight shit there. Ugh.
This is our second episode on Pixels. Where we just try to remember what happened in Pixels.
They were attacking somebody and they drove a car and Pac-Man showed up and started destroying things. I think I'm just remembering that from like the trailers.
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it. They were in the park at one point shooting Space Invaders, I think.
Oh, right, because they were having to play it like it was a game.
Right.
And didn't they have to win like 3 different
Yes, I think so.
competitions of some kind?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was Ready Player One before Ready Player One.
Just finished.
Only with Adam Sandler.
With Adam Sandler. I wish he was in Ready Player One.
Yeah, you want to make Ready Player One better? Here's what you do.
Yeah. One of the eggs is hidden in Happy Gilmore.
Adam Sandler as Parzival.
Fucking sweet.
No, Duran is better.
There's an egg hidden in my cold cut combo.
I just finished Ready Player 2, the book, yesterday.
I didn't like it at first, but then toward the end, I was like, okay. I don't think it's as good as the first one, but okay.
Yeah, see, I was kind of the opposite. I sort of liked it in the beginning, and then it started to draw on a little bit, and I'm like, okay, no, this isn't doing it for me.
It's a little hard to recapture that magic kind of doing it again. It felt like the second Hunger Games, where it's like, okay, you're doing it again in a slightly different way.
Yeah, they lost me on the Hunger Games because it's like the second one was exactly like the first one. I didn't watch the second movie, but like the books was just like, fuck, man, you just wasted my fucking afternoon. And then the third one, I was like, okay, this should have been the second book, and it should have just been 2 fucking books.
Right. Because it just rehashed everything, and it was all in the same kind of vein.
We're doing it again. All right.
Which is a great segue to
Final Fantasy IV, the after years.